One's ready. Go!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. This is your daily drop for the 21st of March, 2025, brought to you by Modern Athlete Strength Systems. If you weren't aware, Modern Athlete Strength Systems provides training, diet. You can do one-on-one training with them. There's an online community. They use the Train Heroic app, and there's two different programs that you can get. Well, three different technically, but there's two different programs that we promote directly that are fitness related and diet related, which are the Warfighter and the Warfighter Elite. There's also a 90-day Unchained one-on-one coaching that you can get, which is fitness, diet, mentorship, life coaching, all that kind of stuff. All you got to do is head over to onesready.com, head over to prep, or you can just hit prep and then partner discounts. And then you can scroll down through all of our other affiliates. And then you can go to Modern Athlete right here. You can click on the links and it takes you, it gives you a certain URL that is dedicated to us. And then you can also put in a promo code for an extra discount as well. The 90-day Unchained is not on our site, but it is offered through Modern Athlete Strength System. You just have to engage with them about it and then tell them that we sent you. So check them out, Modern Athlete Strength Systems. You can find them over on onesready.com. Prep, partner discount, scroll down, click on any of the links or the images. All right, today's joint news. And if you're new here, this is the news that the commanders and the chiefs receive in the Department of the Air Force every single day, curated by Public Affairs. I am just kind of giving a quick synopsis of each of their readouts, because if not, it's really, really long. And then maybe some input or insider baseball into each one of them. So, joint news. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced the Department of Government Efficiency cut $580 million in wasteful Pentagon spending. Not surprised. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that could be cut. The savings from an overall budget, human resources software project, and unnecessary grants aligning with his goal to improve transparency and prepare for the Pentagon. I think it would be mind-blowing for everybody out there, the taxpayer, to know how much the Pentagon wastes on money. For example, AFSOC, Air Force Special Operations Command, is the lead component for Joint Terminal Attack Controller kind of policy within Special Operations Command. You know, you have Navy Special Warfare, you have U.S. Army Special Operations Command, you have MARSOC as well, right? And then they all follow typically whatever AFSOC says, because they are the lead for SOCOM. Well, for years, AFSOC and SOCOM entities have been using a certain tracking and currency and education academic software for JTAC currency. Well, a couple of years ago, the current company got, I guess, outbid. I don't know what it was, right? So they got outbid through some shadiness of some of the government civilians at AFSOC. Anyway, they spent millions. And I don't mean like big millions. I mean like anywhere between 1 and 5 million, which I know it wasn't 1. I'm pretty sure it was 3 million. But now, and they had to have their program, their version of the program ready by a certain amount of time. Well, that was 3 or 4 years ago. And they kept going back to the pot of money going, hey, we need more money. We need more money. Well, we're 3 or 4 years in now and still no program for them. They have yet to produce a program. So so right now, AFSOC's kind of got egg on his face, and it's all because some personalities at Air Force Special Operations Command. So think about that on a very small scale, and then expound that and we're talking about one little thing costs millions of dollars. Imagine all the other stuff that goes on within the Pentagon, how much other things are being wasted. Yeah. All right. A Pentagon plan to merge combatant commands and halt U.S. forces Japan expansion faced criticism from GOP lawmakers, senators, and representatives, emphasized the need for a thorough review process involving combatant commanders in Congress before implementing such changes. We talked about this yesterday. I think a combination of the combatant commands would be warranted, especially because certain things that UCOM does affect AFRICOM, affect CENTCOM, and CENTCOM is just the biggest gorilla in the room. They really are. You should see that compound or their campus. It's enormous, but I think it's probably a good thing. I'm sure that there are going to be some downsides, but I think the overall win outweigh the few losses. All right, man, this cough. Somebody's told me that it's actually allergies out here in Vegas, and that's why I'm doing it, because a lot of people are, but I don't know. Anyway, the Defense Department is poised to award the Next Generation Air Dominance fighter jet contract soon. Actually, before hopping on here, I saw that General David Alvin actually, with the POTUS, announced that Boeing won in the competition instead of Lockheed Martin. So the jet is meant to replace the F-22 Raptor, was paused last summer over cost concerns, but is now moving forward. I think it was the F-47 is what it's supposed to be. Boeing, man, you guys better do a better job than the bullshit that you guys have been pulling with the 737 MAX, your space stuff. What's the other one? The KC-46. You guys have got to do better, man. Like we're talking about next generation air dominance, and you guys can't even get two jets. Like you had to rely on SpaceX to go up there and get astronauts back, and you were too proud to say no, like actually concede and go, yeah, SpaceX, we're messed up, we can't go do it, go help us. Like it's unreal. So Boeing, you're on notice. The Pentagon expanded exemptions to its civilian hiring freeze, covering roles in national security, public safety, and presidential support. The goal is to reduce the civilian workforce by 5 to 8% through attrition while maintaining military readiness. Yep, that's continuing on. That is still a hiring freeze right now. There are still a lot of people that are affected by it. Same with the probationary folks. Like it's unfortunate, but like I agree that some of it needs to happen. I just don't necessarily agree that the way it is happening. I think that there's probably a smarter way to do it. It would require more work though, which more work on top of it is a lot more bureaucracy and all that kind of stuff. So like I can also see from their point of view, it's like, dude, it's going to hurt. And we know it's going to hurt, but just, so we'll see. Secretary of Defense pleaded to appeal a judge's ruling blocking a ban on transgender troops. The judge argued the policy lacked factual basis, while Hegseth and President Trump insisted it's vital for military readiness. I've supported this. I think it's righteous. I think it's the right way forward. I just think that they should be given more than 60 days to depart. Defense. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, another one. SecDef refuted claims that Elon Musk would receive a classified briefing on U.S. warplanes with China. He clarified the meeting would focus on innovation and efficiency, not secret operational strategies. Yeah, Elon has no reason to know about that. However, if you don't think that Elon Musk has some of the highest security clearances within the DoD, you're out of your mind. He's dealing with space stuff. That dude has read into all kinds of stuff. So even if he was read into China warplanes, like, what's the big deal? I mean, dude, it's crazy. A vague directive from the Secretary of Defense to remove DEI content led to an algorithm-driven purge of Pentagon websites. Keywords like LGBTQ and quote-unquote privilege were targeted. Though official stressed historical content wasn't intended for removal. Exactly like I said, they just went in there, did a word search, and remove, and didn't go through and actually think it. Like nobody even reviewed it. It wasn't even like hey, let's flag this, let's highlight this, and then we'll actually have somebody review it. No, they just went in, were like, control find, delete. That's dumb. All right. Several Holocaust remembrance pages were inadvertently removed. Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing that we just talked about. I'm not going to read that one. Pentagon Press Secretary John Uloit was removed after backlash over the deletion of a Jackie Robinson article during the DEI Purge. Officials admitted errors in the removing. Yeah, same thing. Like, these kind of things are going to happen if people don't actually go in there and personally remove it. Is the chance of malicious intent zero? No. But more than likely, people want to do the right thing, and they're just going through and control find and deleting stuff. So, Air Force specific news. Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin emphasized divestment from excess infrastructure to boost combat capability. He expressed optimism about aligning the new Integrated Capabilities Command with Defense Secretary Higgs' Integrated Capabilities Command. That is a new term. I forget what it was beforehand. Let me see if I can find it. We'll ask Rock. Let's see. What was that created? Sorry, I'm not trying to be quiet, and I'm also not trying to speak out loud while I'm freaking typing. Okay, maybe it's a new Badgecom? I wasn't tracking it. I mean, I was tracking it, but I couldn't remember, like, because some of them have just changed names, essentially. So maybe the ICC is a new Magcom. I'll have to follow up on that one. Next, the Air Force may extend the KC-135 Stratotank service life beyond 2050 if next-generation tanker plans falter. Analysis is underway to determine if the upgrades are needed to ensure survivability and modern threats. Yes, upgrade the KC-135 Stratotanker. It needs it really bad. It's a badass jet. It's really old. 2050, I think, takes it to 100 years old or like 90 years old. Like, it's super old, but it's super fast, super capable. All the kinks have been worked out, and like I said, Boeing's KC-46 is having some problems. So, like, going back to Boeing winning the contract, like, I'm really surprised by this. I'm not in acquisitions, but, like, man, that thing needs to be done right. All right. Uniform shortages at Army Air Force Exchange Service or AFES locations have airmen seeking secondhand options ahead of inspections. Demand surged recently, forcing some of the travel long distances. Why wasn't your shit ready in the first place? You should always be ready. I would always have my blues and my service dress at work in case I ever needed it. As soon as I would wear it, or as soon as I would wear my mess dress, it's to the dry cleaners, and as soon as I get it back, it's right back and ready to go in case I always need it. I don't understand why your shit wasn't ready to go. Always be ready. Air Force CIO CIO. That must be Colonel COL, but typo. Venice Goodwine announced her retirement after 31 years, highlighting her work on AI innovation zones. Her office developed Nipper GPT, or Nipper stands for the, I don't know what it actually stands for, but it's the unclassified network that we do our normal email on, enabling airmen to create and deploy AI applications. I've never heard of Nipper GPT. We would usually just use Chat GPT or Grok or what is Copilot, I think, is what's automatically built in the Windows, which is not great, but hey, it did the trick. Air Force DEI compliance teams will inspect 9 bases to ensure adherence to executive orders banning related content. Experts will review curricula, interview personnel, and audit lesson plans. Good. Hold them accountable. I hope Nellis gets on that list. Space Force news. Space Force Chief General Chance Saltzman said the service aligns well with Trump administration priorities, especially in space warfunding shift. Teresa Hitchin, why is it? Boy, they really wrote this really weird. I'm just going to skip that because that's a really bad typo. The Space Force's FY25 budget was cut by $800 million under a continuing resolution. Though reprogramming is allowed, General Chance Saltzman offered low priority items for reallocation to match new administration goals. Dude, you've heard me say it before. I know you're tired of hearing it. General Deptula said that DoD, the Space Force, is only 3% of the DoD budget. And then you're going to cut it by $800 million because of continuing resolution because Congress couldn't get their shit together. We should have, I told you before, we should have just shut down. And yeah, that would have hurt everybody, but at least like it sends a message to Congress and politicians. And if they're not careful, they'll get primaried as they should be primaried. If you don't hate politicians, you can't hate them enough. The Space Force's new strategic plan aims to overhaul its unified data library into official programs by September. It includes integrating the library into key operations and establishing an API gateway. Okay, cool story. Going back to the hating politicians, go check out Valhalla VFT. Nate and Aaron from One's Ready, just released a video about a congressman who was a prior ranger, just raking him through the coals. So I haven't watched it yet, but it should be good because that dude sounds like a real piece of shit. The Space Rapid Capabilities Office is redefining acquisitions to deliver innovative capabilities quickly. Director Kelly Hammett noted the challenges of physics, security, supply chains in the space project. Yeah, supply chains are still an issue right now, not just for space type stuff, but also for planes and jets and stuff like that. Like it is not great right now. DARPA is researching space-based laser systems amid concerns over Russian and Chinese satellite threats. The focus is currently on laser communications rather than weaponization to avoid orbital debris. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Laser communication, yeah, I buy that. Space debris is a problem, for sure, and it's only going to get worse the more stuff we keep sending out there. I'll tell you what, whoever can figure out a way to catch space debris almost with like a net kind of thing, that person is going to have, or that person or that company is going to win a contract, and it's going to be so enormous. It wouldn't surprise me if SpaceX ends up figuring out a way to do it, but there are so many other companies out there now that could help collaborate with SpaceX and Space Force. Like, man, but space debris is definitely a problem. So laser communications makes sense to me. These are of interest for the commanders and the chiefs. 2 West Point grads proposed a new military academy for cyberspace and robotics, citing slow adaptation in the current academies. Agreed. They noted Ukraine's success with younger leaders and urged a faster training path for modern warfare. Agree. Us old heads, we have got to get out of the way and stop being roadblocks for the younger generation because they're wicked smart, they're wicked talented, they're ready to get after it. We are the roadblocks for them, and we gotta stop. We're a mess. Ukraine launched a major drone attack on Russian air bases in Saratov and Ingles, causing explosions. Russian countered with a drone strike on Kubansk, Ukraine, resulting in civilian casualties. Not surprised. Ukrainian President Zelensky confirmed new F-16 arrivals and dismissed Russian claims of downing one. The jets are actively engaged in daily combat operations against Russian forces. I can't believe there are F-16s over there, even though we said we'd never send F-16s over there. We said we'd never send tanks, and we sent all of them. We sent all of it over there. The Trump administration's decision to disband the advisory committee on excellence in space was criticized as poorly timed analysis. Kathleen Curley argued it weakens U.S. space leadership in collaboration with the commercial sector. I don't have any take on that at all. I don't know any details with that. So anyway, this has been your daily drop for 21 March. do appreciate you joining us. Like I said, check out Modern Athlete Strength Systems. They've got good stuff over there. We've already sent several people that are doing their 90 Unchained, and so far really like it. But most of the people are doing the Warfighter and Warfighter Elite. Remember to use our promo code. So hit the links from our website and then also use that promo code. That way you get a discount. All right, we're out here. Later.